All right, jump inside the huddle driven by Bayou Ford. Remember, questions. Rachel Baribeau in studio with us. Of course, she's here down in Baton Rouge. She's been addressing the LSU student athletes. I said over 280 student athletes. That's not true. She addressed every female student athlete on campus, which is 250 of them. She also talked to the men's track and field team, baseball team, and the football team. We met up after she addressed the football team last night, talked to we watched the basketball game. Everybody running off the basketball floor.
Who's flustered now, big guy?
High-fiving her. was talking about the impacts that they had, that she had with her message. But it's great to welcome you into the studio. Rachel Baribeau here with us.
Well, I love you guys, first of all, and it's so nice to finally meet you in person.
Yes.
Are you sweating?
Yes, a little bit, but I put on plenty of Axe deodorant before this, so no worries.
I saw your tweet this morning that you really did try to go work out.
Oh, my God,
And then
dude.
it didn't work out, so you went to McDonald's?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about this on the show yet. I was so angry. So I woke up. Amy's been sick all night. I'm going to take care of her, whatever. It's like, finally, she goes to sleep. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do something positive. I'm going to get some endorphins. We got Rachel coming in today. I'm feeling like good about myself. And next thing you know, I go to a 5 a.m. workout class. I get turned away at the door. The class was full. I was
Isn't that the worst when you're actually prepared and dressed and ready to go?
I was so mad. I had like my clothes ready to shower afterwards, change into, come straight to work. But I was the only one. I was the last one out. Got turned away. And then in my anger, this is probably, I don't know. This is kind of self-defeating behavior here. In my anger.
Change the narrative, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I might need your help here because I immediately turned to McDonald's and got a triple stack McMuffin, which is like 2 pieces of sausage, bacon. It's like 800 calories in just one like tiny little sandwich. So it was great going down, but feeling
now you feel guilty.
Feeling a little guilty, a little self-conscious this morning, but it's okay. It's okay because you're here now.
I said Rachel's going to be in studio. In studio,
I know.
She's going to catch a workout. All right, so I love hearing about the message.
Yeah.
Is it the same for everybody?
No.
Okay.
No.
Tell me to the female student athletes on campus. Where do you start?
The female student athletes, I think the core message for them is before you look for love for anybody else, you have to love yourself. And oftentimes we as females are trying to fill holes with intimacy, with relationships, that we got to heal ourselves. We got to work on ourselves. And oftentimes we don't even know ourselves nor love ourselves. One of the first things I encourage them to do is, when's the last time you've been on a date with yourself? When is the last time something that only you love to do and you purposely go do it by yourself? And then we also talk about a lot of different things, but one of the things is I think if we ever as human beings had the conversation outside of our heads that we have with ourselves, we would never talk to anybody the way that we talk to ourselves. I mean, the self-dialogue that we as human beings have is oftentimes just foul and rank. And so really the core message for them is when you start to love yourself, then you automatically set boundaries for how you allow yourself to be treated, what you won't and will put up with. And then when you love yourself, I mean, man, you just put off a vibe that's really quite ridiculous in the best possible way. And, the other thing I tell them is straighten your crown. You are meant to be a queen, and, you don't ever shine brighter by stabbing somebody in the back, by stabbing another girl, another queen in the back. So we really got to be a generation of women that love each other and lift each other up.
Rachel Baribeau joining us in studio. She's changing the narrative around college campuses. She's been back here to Baton Rouge. It's the second trip down here to South Louisiana. She's on Twitter at Rachel Baribeau. Tremont Waters' girlfriend comes out of the crowd last night, finds you after you have a message for her earlier in the day.
Yeah.
What's it like building these personal relationships with these students? As I said, when the basketball team was coming off the floor last night, Skylar stopped, Emmett Williams stopped. I mean, all these people stopping and just telling you hello and the effect and impact that you've had on them individually. What's it like building these personal relationships with the athletes?
Jordy, T-Bob, like for me, I was texting my boyfriend this morning. And I said, I woke up this morning and I've never felt more alive, more on purpose, more meant to be where I am in this moment in my life. And it's because I get these private messages that say, I'm a king because of you, or I've been depressed and now I want to go seek help. You made me want to change my own narrative. Or we had the most real conversations last night, the realest of the real, and thank you for that. And so here's the difference in me and a lot of different speakers. And I say this to administration and coaches across the country. I'm going to build a relationship with your players. If they'll let me, I will be a lifer for you. I've got one of my kings that allowed me to, he sent me pictures from the from the delivery room when his baby was being born. And so I've got these relationships with these guys where they come to me, and these gals, they come to me good, bad, happy, sad. And so if they'll allow me into their lives, I'm going to be there until they don't allow me into their lives. And that's the difference between me and a lot of speakers.
So one of the individual relationships that you were able to establish that people may not know about was with Wayde Sims. Your avatar on Twitter right now is still the Remember Wayde pin 44 with Wayde over the top of it. Last night, as you and I are watching the end of the game, I say, look, there's Mr. Wayne and Miss Faye walking out of their arena. As the minutes are ticking down off the clock, you say, let's go sprint and find them. We sprint out of the arena, go stop them as they're walking to their car. Miss Faye turns around. You guys share a very emotional exchange. She gives you the pin to wear that I believe you have one right there. There it is. That moment, I guess, for you last night, I was standing 6 feet away from it and saw it real time and just saw the effect that it had on both parties for you.
Yeah. Certainly tears in mom and dad's eyes. And, I was able to share with them that, it's different. When you're talking to 100 people or you're talking to 20 people, it's a little bit different. The other thing that's very interesting for me is to watch sometimes the body language of people, girls and guys, that don't think you have anything to say and don't think they're going to take anything. So it starts as a, what does she know, to, oh my gosh, we're incredibly engaged. But I needed to share with them that their son was engaged with me the entire time. I needed to share with them that I held their son in my arms, and I needed to share with them that their son was a king. And I needed to tell them that. And she said to me, and I don't think she'll mind sharing this, she said, thank you. She said, these stories, these little bits of his life bring us so much peace and bring us so much joy. Thank you for sharing that with me. And I said to you last night, it's pretty crazy to me, the fact that the way they deal with their grief is to come and to watch and to be a part. That's cathartic to them. And a lot of people would stay away. A lot of people would never come back because it would be too painful. And they embrace it because they knew their son lived it and loved it, and it's a part of their lineage and their history. Wow.
Yeah, and one thing that I love that this LSU basketball team's kind of become their mantra is they have 5, we have 6. Of course, talking about Wayde, which I guess for you, someone that works so closely with this team that tried to help them for the season, like how gratifying has it been to kind of watch their journey from afar? I mean, here they sit like on court success, 3 games away from being SEC champs.
Listen, I may have graduated from Auburn, but I am an LSU homer. Like, I watch the games as if they're my kings. Yeah. I'm invested in them. I know these young men. I know their dreams. I know their hopes. I know their loss. I know the pain that they felt. And so for me, I'm invested in them, and I know they're invested, and I know he's with them on the court every single game, every single practice. I know they play for him. So for me, it's incredibly special. So, I'm not ashamed to admit it.
and you talked earlier about when you're talking to women, kind of the first thing you tell them, go on a date, so love yourself, right? You have to find that innate confidence that not only helps yourself, but makes you kind of attractive to the outside world.
Yeah.
How much crossover is there to men there? Like, what do you find the number one thing that men, student athletes, just men in general, kind of need to improve on?
The fact that they can actually be vulnerable. They can actually, you and I have talked about this, they can actually say, I'm not okay. Yeah. I'm not right. Something's going on in me where I need to talk to somebody. We have conditioned our men in society and culturally and through our family ties to believe that it's not masculine, it's not strong, and it's not attractive to say that they're struggling with something. And I go and just totally bust that myth up and destigmatize the conversation around mental health. And I tell them, I said, listen, from a woman, let me tell you, as someone maybe at one time you'd want to date, like, I'm telling you that.
Easy.
That's how we got in trouble last time.
That we women want to hear you say, I want to be better. Baby, I want to be better for you. Baby, I want to be better for me. Baby, I want to be better. Baby, I don't want to be this angry. Baby, I don't want to be this despondent, this far away from you. I don't want to go away into this cave with my feelings and leave you. I want you to know how I'm feeling. So I think that's the biggest part. And we're doing it stop by stop, school by school.
Check out the hashtag Changing the Narrative on social media. Absolutely. Rachel Baribeau, who is the author of that movement and taking it to college campuses all around the country. In fact, there's a special announcement coming up here in a couple of days, how this changing the narrative will be accessible without you being the presenter everywhere, right?
Yeah, I'm super excited about 2 huge announcements, actually. First of all, those bracelets, you can't buy them. Only my athletes have them, and very, very special
I was an
people.
athlete once.
Yes, you were.
Jordy actually dislocated his elbow just last year playing adult flag football, so he's kind of an athlete in his own right.
Maybe one more year.
So you guys are very, very special. So there's that. Yeah, I've been working for 3 months on virtual training with a platform out of Las Vegas that really big people like Tony Robbins and Dr. Kevin Elko and Jerry Acuff use. And my heart is for every high schooler, every grade school kid, every parent out there that you see fighting at their kids, wrestling match. Because guess what? Big bullies raise little bullies.
Saw that video the other day. That was pretty bad. Yeah, that was not
good. And the
good.
kids caught up in the fray.
That was not good.
I'm like, and so you wonder where these kids are learning it from, and the parents are broken. So it's just a big cycle. So I've been working for 3 months, night and day. I'm talking about 14-hour days sometimes, and I'm proud of that work to bring this virtual training, which you'll be able to get on your phone, your computer, your iPad. It's interactive. You can give it to your kids. Coaches can buy it. Schools can buy it. You can test them. They can become a Changing the Narrative ambassador if they go get involved in their community. And it's everything I'm teaching at the collegiate level. So one course is High School King. Another course is High School Queen. Another course is Changing the Narrative for parents. Another course is for grade school and younger kids. So I just have this desire and this audacious goal to get it in every high school and grade school across the country.
Go get it. Rachel Baribeau, of course, Changing the Narrative here in Baton Rouge, back down in Baton Rouge, changing the narrative here on this college campus.
Yeah, so Jordy talked about it right before we went to break. You met alone with the football team. That was last night?
Yeah, it was.
All 90 plus of them. Be an intimidating room, no coaches in there. How'd that go?
So while being respectful to the conversation that was had in there, I can say this in generalities. I have never, in 2.5 years, almost 3 years, I have never had as real a conversation as I had with those men last night.
Wow.
I've had bits and pieces in different rooms, but we talked about relationships, one-night stands. We talked about, what does a girl feel? What does she want? How do I do that? What do I say here? How do I not say that? How do I look in the mirror each night and be proud of the man that's staring back at me? What does it mean to be a king? What mental health? I mean, and listen, here's the thing that I told them that's so just crazy, amazing, and also mind-blowing at the same time is I said, I'm with you, but a lot of you have never seen a good relationship in your own home. Your mom's not there. Your dad's not there. You saw, dysfunction in your home. You've never seen it. So then how are you supposed to know how to have a healthy relationship? You're looking at movies, porn, social media, or what your friends say on how to have a relationship. And guess what? You're failing. So let's have a real conversation about it. And here's how I knew it worked. They were taking the mic from me and standing up in front of their teammates and talking and asking questions. There was a point in time where I had to check myself and turn around and go, is this really happening? Wow. Is this really happening? And it was better than amazing.
Do you document this for you? Do you video the room that you can go back and just, I know you don't show it to the public.
Yeah, I do and learn from it and go, okay, how could I have been better there? And then I meet with the players. I talk with them. I have these relationships and I go, tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what I didn't ask. Tell me where I could have gone. Tell me what's happening on campus. Tell me where you're confused. And then, many of them 30, 40 wait afterwards to talk as well.
Well, and then, so how do you get them past kind of the giggling stage? Because I've been in those rooms before, right? And a lot of times when this kind of stuff is brought up, jokes start being made, everybody starts laughing, and I don't know if it's a defense mechanism or what, but how do you get them?
Especially from the presenter, right?
Yeah.
Well,
and when you look at the presenter.
Oh, yes. No, absolutely. Okay, you kind of pulled a T-Bob there. I'm just attractive woman. Absolutely. I
didn't even have. I'm just male, female.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%. When you hear, so how do you then kind of break through those barriers that they put up?
You know what's funny? Their own teammates did it to him last night. There was one, Braden Fajoko, last night. He literally stood up and just ripped into. There was just one time where there was the giggling, and the giggling. Here's the deal: The giggling is because they're nervous.
Yeah,
because
for
you
sure.
haven't had.
It's your defensive.
You haven't. It's not because they're
Are we really talking
disrespectful.
about this out loud?
Yeah, we're really talking about this out loud. And it wasn't a I'm preaching at you this. It was I'm using their lingo, their language. We're having they're like, wow, she said it's okay to do that as long as I'm honest, as long as I do this. So he did it, and then everybody shut up and listened to him. And I love watching leaders like that. But then I told them later on, I said, you know why he did that? He did that because he loves you.
Yeah.
He did that because he wants better for you. He did that not out of a place that I'm coming down on you, but a place of I want better for you. Listen to her. You can learn from this. So it was very cool for me to watch that leadership going on within the program.
So how do the coaches stay in touch with you after you deliver a message like yesterday to the team? How do they keep you involved with the program? I know that there's a lot of programs that bring you around just to check the box, right?
Let's
just
be
to
real.
say Rachel came,
Yep.
she gave her message, she
Yep.
was here.
Yeah.
Like we did our part.
Yeah. We
I
put
know
out a video.
So, but like
Boom, boom.
for LSU to bring you back, kind of tells you that they may be incorporating this 365 days a year.
Yes. Listen, I'm going to try not to cry. Like it's one thing for a school to ask you, but when a school asks you back, that is the penultimate, because it means that they know that you made a difference. It means that they know they get what you did. It means that they know they value what happened in the magic that happened, in the relationship that happened. And I was telling Jordy last night, something amazing happens when people know you care about them, like really know, and that you're not just coming in to speak and check a box and leave. And so when a school has you back, it's crazy. And the other thing is that people need to know, somebody told me a long time ago, find the fine line between stalking somebody and being persistent and ride the hell out of it. I'll wear your you-know-what out. I mean, I tweet, I text, I email, I call. I make sure that you have me back.
That's why we get along.
How do you? Yeah, that is true. Jordy's dogged in his approach. How do you manage that many relationships then, though?
I just do it. I make time for it. I mean, people laugh at me and say, "When do you sleep?"
Yeah.
And listen, let's be real. Not everybody reaches out. I'm not close to. There's levels of the guys. But I say to them, anytime you need somebody, I'm here. If you need to call, if you need to talk. And then I have a relationship. If the guys are in trouble or exhibiting signs where they need help, where I will then call this coach. I will then call somebody to get them help. It's happened. At another SEC school, a guy reached out and said, I'm not proud of what's happening with me and my girlfriend right now. I'm angry and I need tools in my toolbox, or maybe I need help. Can you help me?
Wow.
I mean, I cried.
Wow.
And he went and got help.
Tell our listeners where to find you other than social media. At Rachel Baribeau is where you find her personally on Twitter, but Changing the Narrative, how do they find out more?
I'm changingthenarrative.org. I'm changingthenarrative.org, and I try to answer every Twitter, try to sleep a little bit, and try to just make it. Here's the last thing I'll say very quickly. I told him, I said, I vote for the Heisman. I host the college football playoff. I do really cool things. I host on Sirius, but nothing feels as good as the way I feel when I'm in front of you and I'm empty and done. And I've given you my good, my bad, my happy, my sad, my guts. I want you to find the same thing. I don't want you just to exist.
Wow.
Super jealous about what you're going to do over the next 48 hours. You're going to turn into a tourist in New Orleans by yourself.
Date
Yeah,
yourself.
Date yourself.
There you go, man.
Going to some museums.
Museums, good food. It's carnival down there. Watch out for the crowds.
Okay.
But thank you for this. It's
Thank you.
good to see you. I know just walking around last night with her on the LSU campus and seeing administrators, whether it was academic advisors, everybody, athletes, coming up to her and just seeing the impact that she's having on LSU's campus. Yeah. It's tough to envision that now happening from a national scope, and what could happen with changing the narrative on college campuses around the country. Cool to see you. Enjoy New Orleans over the next couple of days. Happy Mardi Gras, and we will see you at SEC Media Day.